Hello everybody and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we are currently heading on over to the moon with our larger mining drills, because at this point, that appears to be what we need. So we are just going to head on over from about here or so. Let's see what this ends up feeling like. We could dial that back a bit, and then change the timing. Excellent. What's this looking like? 15 kilometers? That's pretty low, actually. But it's not bad. Sure, we can do something like this. That looks excellent. So we'll lock to this node. How's our turn speed? Not terrible, actually. We'll just physics warp as we turn on over here. There we go. That looks good. And let's get going. So we're going to head off over to the moon here, 768.2 meters per second. We'll have plenty left over for our braking burn when we get there, our inclination change, and our deceleration burn. Our actual landing will almost certainly still be on this tank, and that's absolutely fine. So we've got about 40 seconds until this burn. Let's warp forward a little bit. 30, 20, 10, and 3, 2, 1, 0 mark. Excellent. So this is going to be a bit of a lengthy burn. There we go. We'll just physics warp our way through that as well. Make this go nice and quick. This should be the last thing we need to deliver to the moon. In theory. In theory. We'll see if we can figure out how to get everything else working, but if we can just get a unlimited source of fuel on the moon, that will solve the vast majority of our problems. Okay, so we've got about 30 seconds here. 20, 10, and I don't know why I was saying seconds. It's meters per second. There we go. This is good enough. So let's see where that put us. 24 kilometers. Sure, I'm okay with that. So that seems excellent. Let's warp and see if that changes anything. Nope. Cool. I don't like it when warp changes this, but it did not there. We'll see if it does when we warp this, but let's just circularize this up for now. Cool. So that's about 260 meters per second. Now, I'm definitely concerned about coming down on the dark side. So we may have to wait if that's going to be the case, because we don't have much power on this. We're very reliant on our solar panels. So that is very much a concern. For now, let's just get ourselves over to here. And that also means it might be a concern for us to burn on the dark side. We will see if that ends up being a problem. If it does, we'll be like here by the time we get out of the shadow of the moon. That's a bit spicy. We might want to burn this slightly earlier just to be on the safe side, but actually that burn point, we should still, I think, we should just barely still have sunlight, I think. Let's warp on up. And let's go. Okay, so in we come to the moon here. We are just about into the sphere of influence. There we go. And we can see this is currently in pretty much full dark right now. We're going to have to wait a few orbits, I think. That's okay. It's not the end of the world. It's not even going to be that many orbits. So that looks fine for now. How are we doing on sunlight? It's still reasonably high up for now. We've got about a minute here. So let's warp forward a little bit. 40 seconds. 30, 20, 10. This is going to be about perfect timing. 3, 2, 1, 0, mark. Excellent. We had light the whole way. Now the sun is going to start going beneath the horizon, but it doesn't matter. We have an alternator on this engine. So that's okay as long as we're burning. We have enough power. So that looks fine for the moment, but the next concern, of course, is power as we do our orbital maneuvering around the moon here. So that's also a bit concerning. I'm going to cut our engines here. This is good enough. So that's looking good. But normally what I'd look to do is I'd just do an inclination change around here, and then we'd just go for this landing. As it is, I don't think that's really an option. So let's do a little bit of warping here. You can see we're out of electric charge. Now it's back up. But what we're doing right now is we're just waiting for this to make its way out. Should be something about like this. Yeah, that's fine. So at this point, we're going to do an inclination change burn somewhere around here, bringing ourselves up to be about like that or so. That looks about right. And we'll align to that node. We have sunlight here, so no problem whatsoever. I like it. So at this point, we're just going to finish this alignment. This is about a 10-second burn, and we're still going to have a few hundred meters per second in this tank to start doing our decelerations. So that's reasonably fine. Okay, so this burn is going to be in about a minute 40, so let's warp forward a little bit. 30 seconds, 20, 10, and 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, mark. Excellent. So we're just altering our orbital inclination here a little bit, getting ourselves to fly right over where our colony is. We'll call that good. And yeah, that should be pretty close to flying over it. So at this point, what we want to do is sometime around here-ish, we just want to bring this basically straight on down. That's overshooting. There we go. This is what we want. Something kind of like that. And we'll change our overall trajectory somewhat on the way in as well. But just something kind of like this. I just want to be going largely straight down to the target. So that's 529.2 meters per second. Okay. As we can see, most of that burn is actually going to happen from this stage. So this is going to have quite a lot of leftover fuel. That's absolutely fine. This is what we want. So let's just get into position for this burn. And this is going to be essentially a horizontal velocity down burn. But we just want to get rid of all of our orbital velocity and just have gravity at that point. So that'll be fine. And we are currently about 1 minute away from this burn. Okay. So now we're about 13 seconds away. 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, mark. Okay. And you can see our destination point is right here. So at this point, I really want to be at horizontal velocity minus, and we're just going to burn here until this horizontal speed is gone. Our vertical speed is absolutely going to build up, and that is fine for now. Let's just bring ourselves down to a halt, basically right over our target. Cool. So we've got a decent amount of speed here, but this is still going to get us a good seismic reading. Cool. Okay, so we're just watching this horizontal speed marker. That's good enough. So we're going to take this over to surface velocity minus at this point, and we're heading basically straight down. Now, our target point is here, and our surface velocity is... It looks like we overshot this a little bit. We'll set this as our target so that we can see our target marker a little bit here. And yeah, it definitely appears that we've overshot this slightly. I want to bring us out over like this way a little bit here. Okay, let's just bring ourselves out over here a bit. And let's see what that did here. Okay, that looks decent for now. We'll just coast here for the moment, and we'll dial this in a little bit more as we come in here. We should extend our landing legs. Don't want to forget to do that. And this landing is going to be in, well, it's going to be in a couple minutes yet, so this is absolutely fine. I'm just watching this timer here. This should be reasonably accurate. We only have a little bit of horizontal speed, so it shouldn't be too bad. So for now, I just want to coast us closer, and we're overshooting this, and that's deliberate for the moment. I don't actually see our landing marker just yet. The KER bullseye, I don't see that yet. If I burn a little bit, do I see it moving? No. Okay, so I've not identified our landing site just at this moment, although I'm guessing it's somewhere around here, would be the theory. That looks approximately correct. Okay, so I'm going to put us in kill rot right now, and I'm going to get rid of some of this horizontal speed now. We are very close to where we want to be horizontally. So I'm just pushing these two nodes together at this moment. There we go. That's very, very close. So we're going to take this over to surface velocity minus now, and you can see, yeah, this is incredibly close now, but we'll dial that in a little bit more as we come in here. So we're still about 8 kilometers up right now, and we're traveling reasonably swiftly. Nearly straight down at this point, and we're going to have to go a little bit more this way, it looks like. So let's kill off some of this speed, I think. Let's start decelerating a little bit and bringing ourselves out this direction just a smidge. Okay. So that's, of course, going to undershoot there a little bit, but that's okay. We're just dropping our speed down here. You can see we're still not quite where we need to be. There's that seismic reading. Cool. I still haven't seen our bullseye. Oh, there it is. I see it now. Okay. So let's bring it in over this direction. There we go. Overshooting it deliberately. And now we're bringing it back a little bit. Okay. I want to bring it up this direction somewhat. There we go. That looks pretty good. Okay, we're going to hold here for a couple of seconds. Okay. And we're going to start a gentle deceleration now. I do want to move ourselves up a little bit more in this way, though. There we go. Something kind of like that. Nice and close is the goal here. Okay. We could position ourselves up over here, actually. And I'm thinking about doing that. I don't want to land right on this. Thanks. Whoa, this is not great. Can we go up? Well, we're kind of rolling a little bit. This is fine, actually. This is not ideal, but this is actually not terrible. This is a good landing position to be able to move stuff over, and we can disassemble this thing. This is intended to be disassembled, so this is actually fine. That was definitely not quite what I was going for, but it'll do. So at this point, what we need is Dunvin. Where are you at, Dunvin? You're here somewhere. Hang on. Here we go. This is what we're looking for. So definitely not the finest landing in the world. We did break a solar panel, but to be honest, it's completely fine. So we're just going to head on over here with the goal being we want to grab one of these guys. Like, the solar panel is the only thing that we broke here. So this is not a big deal. So that's currently too heavy. Okay, so that's going to be a little bit awkward for us, for sure. One concern that I have, I'm going to make a quick save here as soon as I can. I went the wrong way, didn't I? Absolutely did. Okay, this is here somewhere. We need to clean up some of these parts. Here we go. I want Tenend to come on over, but I'm going to make a quick save here in case we run into a heat issue. We can't quick save while Tenend is on the ladder. That's fine. There we go. So we're going to quick save in case we run into that heat issue with these as well. I don't know if we will or not. But we'll bring Tenend on over here. Okay. So now we need to go to Dunvin. There we go. That's still too heavy. Tenend isn't counting. Tenend must not be close enough. There we go. So we can put this right about here. And the awkward thing here is we're going to have to move both Dunban and Tennant along with this. We can grab it here. So that's something. Dunban is freaking out a little bit. Yeah, now this is too heavy because we need to bring Tennant over. So that's okay. We can put Tennant maybe slightly ahead of Dunban here. Yeah, they're definitely freaking out a little bit. This does not appear to be having the same issue, though. So that's good. Okay, Dunban, I want you to grab this. Perfect. And just place it right about there. And now I want you to move on up over here. Grab it again, and place it about here. And then we can move Tennant up. Perfect. So this is looking great, other than, you know, this wobbling that they're doing. I don't know why they're doing that. They just seem to have decided it's time for dancing, I guess. Sure. So we're going to grab Dunban, and we're going to, of course, use Dunban to move this on over. All we need for now is one functional drill. That's it. That's all we need for the moment. So Dunban can move up over here, and we are going to grab this landing strut, move this away. And I'm also going to detach this guy for the moment. We're going to put it over here. It might overheat and explode. We will see. Okay, for now, I'm thinking about where we want to install this. Okay, that did not blow up that radiator. Good. We should retract the radiator for the moment. We're going to want to move this. I'm thinking about installing it right here. So we're, of course, going to need to go grab Tennant and move this over. This thing, though. Okay. Here's what I'm thinking right now. So, Dunban, we're going to grab this thing again. This landing strut. And I'm just going to attach that, like, right here. This part can't be attached without a tool. Dunban has a tool. Did he unequip it? It's equipped. Okay. Sure. Whoa, that was a big physics kick. That was definitely not what we intended it to do there. But I think it's okay. Maybe. It tipped over in a really awkward manner. Okay. So that was definitely not what I had hoped for it to do there. No doubt about that. I knew that it could give it a physics kick, but I did not expect it to be that big of a kick. So we could reload the quick save that we just did. Obviously, that's not realistic, right? That's not how that would have worked in reality. I'm going to go ahead and do that, and we are going to bring back over the drill bit, but I'm going to do that off camera. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, so here we are, basically back where we were before that wacky physics hit happened. And at this point, I've made a quick save here, so I want to grab this thing again, but actually I realized that the issue was that I mounted it upside down. It needs to go on like this. Although, I need to actually attach it. That would have helped. Okay, let's go grab that. It's not going to be a big deal to grab. Assuming Dunban, you know, stands up. He should be fine. Okay, Dunban, let's go. I do want to grab this landing strut, and I want it attached right here. Overall, I do want to, I think, put this thing on landing struts. For now, at least. At least for this colony. Because, I don't know, that... The ground anchor doesn't seem to be all that anchored into the ground. I've noticed. So there's that. Okay. So we want to attach this right here, but I think we're out of range, aren't we? Yeah, we're just barely out of range. Okay, let's put this here. And let's head on over. So I want this to be attached here. Now, I'm not going to extend this landing leg at this time. We're just going to put it there, and it'll extend down this way. We don't necessarily want that at this moment, though. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this drill, and I want to attach it right over here. We're going to have to angle it downward, of course, and we want to have it be angled about like this, approximately. Yeah, that should do the trick. So we'll surface attach it there. There we go. And now I'm going to move this radiator over. So the radiator, I'm going to position maybe directly next to it. I want it to be attached absolutely to the fuel tank here. So we can do something like that. I'm not going to extend this radiator yet because Dunvan is just going to bang his head into it and break it. So for now, Dunvan, you can hop in. There you go. And Tenend, wherever you are. I was hoping Tenend would be the next one. Ah, here we go. Tenend, you can head in as well. Beautiful. Okay, so with both of them in here, now what we want to do is we want to deploy this drill, and it's going to go kind of directly into the Stampatron. So that's not necessarily ideal there. We'll extend this radiator here, and we'll start the surface. Yeah, there we go. We're actually getting some ore. Beautiful. So with that in mind, now we can come up here and we can start our ISRU. Now, this is going to eat up a lot of power. I'm going to extend this solar panel. This one I'm concerned about extending, though, because we're kind of angled downward right now. And this solar panel is blocking us from super effectively getting out of this hatch. So with that in mind, now what I want to do is I want to run this in this really awkward orientation. We will get this orientation fixed. I want to be clear about that. But I want to run this in this really awkward orientation for a little while here. You can see that our electric charge is going up, so this single solar panel is enough to do this, so that looks good. Our ore is actually holding at this moment, but you can see here we're still not at peak thermal efficiency. In fact, we are dropping thermal efficiency because we are not actually cooling this enough, it seems. Okay. But we are gaining some amount of liquid fuel and oxidizing. So if this is only getting 13.3% cooling. Okay. I'm going to retract the solar panel for now, and the ISRU should be reporting that it's missing ore. That's correct. Dunvan, I want you to try moving this thermal control system and maybe attaching it, if we can, directly to the... No, it won't let us do that. Okay, what about attaching it here? Will it do a better job there? We'll retract the radiator and retract the drill. I'm going to quick save. Actually, we need to hop in. I'm going to quick save here. So the drill is retracting. There we go. And we fall back down to our normal orientation. So if we extend out this radiator, that's now doing better on the cooling. So this positioning is clearly better. So now we'll deploy the drill again, and yes, this is going to shove us around. Oh, that's going to shove us too much that time. Odd that that happened differently, isn't it? Definitely odd that that happened differently. Well, we can fix this, of course, by pushing ourselves with either this drill or another drill. So that is an option. Or we could just reload the save again and just be like, you know what? It's fine. Nothing broke. This is basically not fundamentally different from where we were. So this is fine. We can do this. This is just, we can push ourselves back up with the drill, but it's quicker to do it this way. And this is intended to be a simulation anyway. Really? Back to the KSC? Why are we at the KSC? Okay. I don't feel like we should be at the KSC, but whatever. So we want to go to... I guess we could go to the Stampatron Ground Anchor 1, which we should probably rename. Where is this? Here it is. This is what we want to fly. So I think it's already attached at this point. So it's definitely noted that we're going to have different pushing results from that. We definitely want to get this thing up on legs, or in some way more stable, but that's a project for another episode for sure. So if we take a look at where we are at this point. Okay, we are here. Noted. So this is a quick save, and we can extend this leg and see where that puts us. Okay. That might put us in a better position here. Ultimately, we're going to want a landing leg out here, a couple of landing legs over here. We're going to want to have a bunch of landing legs on this thing for the moment anyway. But if we deploy this, where's that going to push us to? Oh, this isn't bad. So it's very different every time we get that push going. And that's definitely noted. So you can see here, I don't know what overheated there. Oh, was that the drill that was on the ground? The drill junior? I think so. We've been having that issue, but I haven't noticed it with this. So the takeaway is just don't use drill juniors. So that's okay. We can definitely do that. So I'm noting that this core temperature is going up, and I'm noting that the cooling on this thermal control system is going up too. So that looks good for now. We're probably going to need more cooling on this. So that is certainly noted. We may need more cooling on this convertitron as well. We'll see. But that allows us to start refilling this fuel tank, which is on its own big. We can also harvest some fuel from here or here. Both of those would be fine. That'll be something we will work on next episode, as well as just getting this in a more stable configuration. This is not pretty, right? This is not super well planned out, but that's the point of this colony. This colony is not intended to be those things. This is intended to be a Pathfinder where we find out problems and how this needs to be done. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, The Lounge STL, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.